Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about step-by-step process on how to apply for a Canadian work permit, and as well as type of work permit, who can apply, how to apply for the permit, and what happens after the application. If you're a foreign national and needs to work in Canada, then you need a work permit. And a work permit is of two types, which is employer-specific work permit and an open work permit. An employer-specific work permit allows you to work in Canada according to the conditions on your work permit, such as the name of the specific employer, how long you can work for, and the location where you can work. And then the employer has to provide you with labor market impact assessment or offer of employment number to include in your application. Then the open work permit lets you work for any employer in Canada, except for one that is listed as ineligible on the list of employers who have failed to comply with the conditions or regularly offer striptease, erotic dance, and the likes. You can only get an open work permit if you fall into the following category. If you are an international student who graduated from a designated learning institute and are eligible for postgraduate work permit, if you are a student who no longer meets the cost of study, if you have an employer-specific work permit and are being abused or at risk of being abused in relation to your job, if you apply for a permanent residence in Canada, if you are a dependent family member of someone who applied for permanent residence, if you are a spouse or common law partner of a skilled worker or international student, if you are a spouse or common law partner of an applicant of the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. You can watch my video on Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program for you to have a deep knowledge of this. If you are a refugee claimant, protected person, or their family member, if you are under an unenforceable removal order, if you are a temporary resident permit holder, if you are a young worker participating in special programs. Eligibility requirements for all applicants. You must prove to an officer that you leave Canada when your permit expires. You must show that you have enough funds for your family and yourself. You must obey the law and have no record of criminal activity. You will prove that you will not be a danger to Canada's security, and of course your medical exam must be done if you're staying more than 6 months in Canada. And you must let them know that you didn't plan to work for employer that is listed ineligible. Prove you won't work for employer who on a regular basis offers strip case and the like. Give the officer any other document they ask for to prove you can enter the country. Eligibility requirement. If you are applying at the Canadian point of entry, it is recommended that you apply for your permit before you travel to Canada. However, you can apply if you don't need a visitor visa to travel to Canada and you're applying for an open work permit, or your employer has completed all the required steps for your employer-specific work permit, or if you'll be working in a seasonal agricultural worker program, you can apply as well at the point of entry. Now to the step-by-step application process. But before we proceed, I would like to let you know that there are two important things you must have before you start your application, which is a valid work offer and a positive LMIA, which is the labor market impact assessment. And to apply, you can either apply online or on paper, but in this video we are going to apply online. So let's get started with the application. To get started, type in Canadian Immigration in your search engine and pick the one that has canada.ca. The link to this website is in the description box below. So once the site has loaded, you have to scroll down, find where the question is being asked with an asterisk mark. So how are you applying online, and where are we applying from? I'm in Nigeria, presently I'm in Nigeria, so I'm picking Nigeria. I need to scroll down and find where Nigeria is being written. So after I must have found, I'll click on it. Then brought out an instruction guide for Nigeria. If you want to get straight to this page, you can pick the link in the description box below. And depending on your situation, you may need to submit a statutory declaration of common law union, IMM 5409, which you can as well get if you get to this website. And now we need to get started. We can create an account, or we sign in if you already have an account. As for me, I already have an account, so let me just log in using my GC key because of our time. After you must have created the account, the GC account, then it will bring you straight to this page, and you need to click on continue, and you need to as well accept with their terms and conditions. And of course, we ask you to create an account. The account you created before was just like an housing account that will house your real application, but this one you have to put in your correct information, because this is the real information that will be appearing on your application. And after all this information has been inputted, it will ask you to create a security question for yourself, so that it will be easier for you to remember next time you want to sign into your profile to continue your application. As you can see, this was the previous account you opened, which I said will house all your application. If I scroll up a bit, let me show you this. View the applications you submitted, and this one, continue an application you haven't submitted. It houses all your applications. So let's get started with our application. Apply to come to Canada. Here we are going to answer series of questions for it to tell us the kind of application we are qualified to apply for, depending on the answers you give to all these questions. Please enter your personal reference code, which I have not started any. So I do not have a personal reference code. So since I don't have any, I'm going to start by determining my eligibility. So now I'm going to click on this visitor visa, study or work permit. So I'm clicking on this because it actually have the kind of application we want to go for. What would you like to do in Canada is to work. How long are you planning to stay in Canada? Definitely more than 6 months, because all work permit comes with a year validity, so it's more than 6 months. Select the code on your passport. I'm in Nigeria, so the code I have on my passport is NGA, which stands for Nigeria, and that is what I'm looking for right now. What is your current country, which is Nigeria? So I need to scroll down to select Nigeria. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident? No, I don't. And please ensure you supply a true information about yourself, because at the end of all application they will require you submit a document to verify your claims. What is your date of birth? You need to give them this information as well. Then you click on next. Are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States? No. Let me click on next. Do you have a written offer from an employer in Canada? Yeah, this one is a yes, because before you start your application, you must definitely have your employment offer. And of course, while doing this application, you need to type in the number on top of your employment offer. Your status of your job offer depends on the kind of offer you get. So let's scroll down. Do you plan to work in one of the following category? If you do, you're going to type yes, but if not, it's a no. So will you be coming to Canada with a spouse or common law who is or will be working in Canada as a foreign worker, or who is, or any which way supply a correct information for them? So no. Are you of working age and independent of a person who is or will be? No. Okay, have you recently graduated from a participating Canadian post-secondary institution? I've never been in Canada before, so it's a no. So I'll click on next now. What is your marital status? You click on your marital status depending on your status. What is your province of destination? In my opinion, your province of destination should be the province where your work is situated at, because that is where you'll be spending most of your time. Are you currently or will be living in Canada with a parent? No. This is my result based on the information I provided in the questions I just answered. So I'm just going to click on the continue, and then I'll scroll down and click on continue as well. So in the following page, you're going to ask me a few more questions for them to evaluate and give me my own personal document checklist. Do you have a valid work permit or study permit? This is a no, because this might actually be the first time you are applying for this kind of permit, so it's a no. So we'll click on the next button. What type of work permit do you want to apply for? So if they've already assessed, if you have a labor market impact assessment and you've been assessed, So you can click on that one, and if it's a work permit through seasonal agricultural work program, it's fine too. So let's scroll down for us to see series of options you can select from depending on your qualification. But in this video, I'm just going to click on a work permit with a labor market impact assessment. So I'll click on next. Did Employment and Social Development Canada issue your employer blah blah blah? Let me just take yes. Does a labor market impact assessment indicate that you must become a member of professional association? No. So I'll click on next again. Are you accompanying a family member that has status? No. Have you ever committed being arrested? No. Have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC? If you have, you can click on yes, but if not, you click on no. I visited and live in one of the designated. I've never been in Canada before, but if you've been in Canada before, you can click yes. Do you want to work in one of the following jobs? Health science worker or anyone? If you have any, you can put it in there, but if not, you can let me just okay, no. Fine. Okay, do you want to submit an application for a family member? I'm submitting for myself, so this is a no as well. Are you giving someone access to your application? No. There are fees associated with this application. Will you be paying? Yes, I'll be paying. Next. Are you able to make a digital copy of your document? Yes. Will you be paying your application fee online? Yeah, if you're paying online, you click on yes, but if not, you click on no. And you can review your answers. If there's anywhere you've made a mistake, you can click on the edit button. You edit it, then you continue with your application. Step 1, use your account, which is the GC key. Save your application, upload your documents. So these are the list of documents I'm going to be uploading, and the last step is to pay for the application fee. So here are my, okay, let me scroll down, my document checklist. So I'll be uploading application for work permit made outside of Canada, which is IMM 1295. And these are my supporting documents under it: employment reference letter, birth registration stroke certificate, labor market impact assessment if you have any, or anyone you might have chosen when you're answering the question, employment offer, proof that you meet the requirement, family information. After uploading all the documents, you have to pay your fee. Details about your application status: review your eligibility, that's been reviewed. The review of medical status: you do not need a medical exam. Review of additional documents: you do not need an additional document. If they need you to update any of these things, they are going to notify you under current status. Then their final decision is your application was approved. Please check your messages below. These are your messages. Then after you must have paid and submitted your application, instantly you will get a payment receipt number. Then after a while you get a submission confirmation, which will tell you that your application has been received by the immigration. Then you have to wait for a day or two for you to receive biometrics collection letter. And after you must have received that, you go and give your biometrics. And these are the list of things you have to go with When you present yourself at the biometric collection service point of your choice, you must bring the following: a copy of your letter and a passport or travel document that you have referenced in your application. You need to wait for like 14 to 16 days for you to receive a message from them telling you that a decision has been made and they will request for your international passport. But you cannot actually know if they grant your visa or your visa is being denied until you receive back your international passport. Hope this video is helpful. If you like it, you can give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and you can leave a comment in the comment section below.